These are 5 assets that will make you money while you are asleep in 2026. Sometimes we say news are good when they are shared early. We're heading over to 2026 in few days time, making this video in less than 20 something days to usher in the 2026. And obviously, if you can get the opportunity, then you can tap it as early as this. Let me first start with the first one before I even tell you to subscribe. Shares. This is where a lot of money will be made in shares. I can tell you for sure. 2026, we are likely to make a lot of money when it comes to shares. That's for sure. Why? The stock market is doing quite of a good thing here in this country called Kenya. As a result, then I will tell you, please go open that CDS account that is needed. Have it ready. Even if you won't buy the shares right now, just be having that account ready, because that is where the money will be as far as the next year is concerned. And the signs are already there. We can actually see people are making quite of a good cash. Last time I came here and I told you buy Uchumi shares. Look where they are right now. See, some of you who had invested, they are almost doubling their money. Talk of weeks. But again, I'm not promising you any quick returns here. This is not what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you to go just rush and no. Please, money is not made like that. Money takes time to make. It takes consistency, discipline, and sacrifice. That is what you're supposed to understand. And whatever I tell you here, always make sure that you do your own research and substantiate what I'm telling you. Are we together? Do not take it as a financial advice. Now, shares or stocks or equities, however you call them, it's an area that I can tell you it is promising when it comes to next year. These are the reasons. Number one, obviously you've seen the government of Kenya have decided to sell their shares. Obviously that will have an effect on the stock market. Number two, the government of Kenya is about to privatize, or we're about to have an IPO on the March of 2026. We're going to have an IPO from the KPC, that is Kenya Pipeline Corporation or company. That is a pipeline, or is a structure that deals with the fuel and what have you. And this is a company that will be listed there. And therefore, that means it's an opportunity that you and me and someone else out there can tap. Number three rather, we're going to have the Family Bank being listed on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Recently, less than 2 days ago, I was checking on the news somewhere that they've actually raised over 8 billion in a process, I don't know, privatization and what have you. It tells you that it's promising as far as the stocks are concerned. Some years back was not a thing, but for now, things are turning out to be very, very good as far as these stocks are concerned. This is good, Joseph. By the way, don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe, leave a comment on the comment section. Yes, and of course, at all the time, make sure that you like the video. Let's go to the point number 2, or the area number 2, where you can actually invest, or an asset that you can buy that can make you some cash. Number 2, this is what we call the rental properties. But now, these rental properties, I want you to view it from a different angle. We've come out of the traditional way of, buy land, build, and what have you. I'm not saying that you should not do that. If you can go ahead and do that. But now we have 2 ways on how to get into this. We have what we call the rates. Are we together? And then we have now the real estate as we know it, like the practical one, whereby you buy land or you buy properties and you buy assets. There are 2 things I would like you to observe. Observe the rate at which the government is building the affordable housing. They are cropping up from all over the place. I mean, name a certain city in Kenya, which is a major city, that doesn't have an affordable housing. It is coming up, it's mushrooming from all over the place. So you can actually buy that property and rent it out if you have the cash. For example, I was doing simple mathematics. That house, personally, I've gone there physically to see it. I don't want to go the political part of it. I just want to think from the business point of view. I went there and I realized that 2B or a 2-bedroom will cost you 2 million. Then you have to do a deposit of 5% of fees, which is an equivalent of like 100K. Is it 100K, 5% of 2 million? Because 10% is 100K. So if you take 100K, you do a deposit, you get this to be 2-bedroom. This 2-bedroom, probably they will ask you to be paying around, will I remember these figures well? I think 13,000 if I'm not wrong, or 11,000 thereabout. Let's work with the highest figure of, say, 13,000. This 13,000, then you get this 2B. This 2B, you can even rent it out for 18K. You have an extra 5K coming in. You take your 100K, You deposit this money here, then you rent this house out, you get 18K, you give them the other 10K, you're left with 5K coming in every month. Because if you take this 5K, sometimes you do mathematics. If you take this 5K, and I mean, rather you take this 100K, you put it in a money market fund, this 100K will give you approximately less than 1,000 in a month. Probably less than 1,000. But you're taking the similar 100K, you put it into this affordable housing, for instance, then you're going to be getting your clean 5K every month. So therefore, this is a far much better important investment as compared to some of the investment. So you can actually make this money when you're asleep. Take your 100K, you commit yourself, you find the tenants, they rent out the space, then you get this 18K or whichever the figures. You can work with the numbers. If you do not have the 100K, you can go with the 1B. The 1B is going for 1 million. 1.1 or 1 million. The one I saw was 1 million. So 1 million, you do a depot of 50K. If you do a depot of 50K, then you rent this house out. This house, they're asking you, I don't know, 3,500 every month. And then you rent it out, say, at 7,000. You're getting your clean 3,500 every month. I mean, tell me where you can invest 5K, 50K and get 3,500. See, this is an area where you can tap it. Okay, fine. You don't want to get into the government one? Okay, fine. Then forget about the affordable housing. It doesn't have to be affordable housing. You can go and buy a house, or you can buy these off-plan apartments and what have you. So in other words, I'm saying real estate investment trust, or rather real estate as it is, it's an area where you can be able to put your cash. Talk about rates. Again, this is where you're buying shares of companies. I know some are still stick to the affordable housing. I was using it as an example. I didn't say you must invest here. I was using it as an example. Now, REITs, real estate investment trust, this is an area whereby now you buy the shares of a given company whose involvement is to build what we call the real estate investments. Therefore, you'll be earning the dividends from that particular company. That is how it goes by. Simple. That is exactly how it goes by. So you can actually invest here. Now, that is the asset number 2 that you can be able to invest and get something. Number 3, you can actually invest on skills or skill. This is where most of you be like, another skill video. Nah, it's not what you think. Right now, me making this video, this is a skill. I eat and drink this skill. This is an IP, intellectual property. I'm sharing this because it's a skill that I have. That's why you are listening. That's why you are still glued to this video. That's why you keep on coming back to watch these videos. Why? Because this is a skill. It's an understanding. See, for God's sake, I can't just stand before you and start making videos if I don't have anything I can say. It's a skill. So if you can master a skill, you can live to actually depend on that particular skill. And it can even make you money while you're asleep. For example, you can write a book, for example. You can make some, what do you call it? The courses, sell them, what have you. You can patent your skill. That is it. So skill, by the way, skills is the fastest way to get out of poverty, if you didn't know. That is exactly how it goes by. So I know you're about to ask me, hey, where do I get the skills? All over. This whole YouTube thing is a whole university. You can learn for free. But then if you'd like to pay, where you get a filtered information, the pure one, you can go into some places like Skillshare, Coursera, Course Hero. You can go to places like Udemy. You can buy all those skills. School. You can be able to buy those skills. Whatever the skill that you'd like to learn. But if you ask me for now, I would say AI, digital marketing. Those are the skills that I can tell you, hey, go ahead. Skills to do with kids. If you are there, sometimes I wonder, you are seated there and you have a skill about the psychology, very well. Sometimes you don't even have to go to school. Naturally, you know some things about kids. Maybe you're a parent. Maybe you're a senior parent. You're at 50. You've already brought up your kids and you know almost everything about the kids. Just take a camera, start talking. You may not be perfect, sure, but there's something that, see, the world needs people with skills. Share that information with people. Anyway, let's not straight there. Number 4, as far as the assets are concerned. Allow me to pick that one up very quick. There we go. Number 4, the asset that you also need to invest so that you can be able to make some cash. Some cash while you sleep, as far as the 2026 is concerned, is what we call mutual funds. We have the mutual funds. We have the what do you call them? Unit trusts. You have the unit trust. This is where we talk about the fixed investment funds, likes of money market funds. We also have what we call the government securities. The government securities. This is where you invest on the bills and the bonds. This is where you invest. Okay, that's a different one. We also have another asset called the corporate bond, like the one we had that closed 2 days ago from Safaricom, where they were looking for 5 billion, 15 billion rather. You know, that's a corporate bond that you can as well tap into it and invest. You know, that's a very good investment. And then lastly or largely, you can also start a business. I don't know why people usually shoot this idea down. You can also start a business, but I tell people, business has a lot of moving parts. You have to start a business knowing very well what exactly are you doing, because otherwise business can actually can show you dust. You know, if you know what that means, yeah, it can show you dust. So generally, guys, that is it as far as the, you know, as far as that is concerned. So stick around, make sure that you understand what exactly is going on. Pick an asset, start investing as early as you can, so that by the time we're getting into the 2026, you're not a newbie. You've already started, you know, some things here and there, and that is exactly how you grow yourself to the next level. Yes, I don't want to make this video too long. Let me finish it up from there. Then we can pick it up for the next time. This is Good Joseph at all the time. If you need my services, that's my number. Pick it up there. Shoot me a text on my WhatsApp. We can have a discussion. Now, it's goodbye and see you.